as far as Muslims are concerned, the popular notion goes that Muslim kings, they are aggressors, they are the ones who insulted Hindu religion by destroying Hindus' temples. They are the ones who came with sword in one hand and Quran in the other hand, and they spread Islam in this country by force. Similarly, many other things are also talked about from the history of the Muslim kings or from the history of Muslims in this country. I must tell you that in history, Hindu, Muslim and Christian, all type of kings have destroyed and built all type of holy places, including temples, mosques and churches. There were two reasons for destroying the holy places. The first reason was that many of these holy places were great repositories of wealth. There used to be a lot of wealth. What I am saying, there used to be a lot of wealth. Even now, there is a lot of wealth in many holy places, and you all must be knowing about that. Second reason for destruction of holy places was that whenever two kings were fighting. Now tell me, why were the kings fighting with each other? Were they fighting for religious values, or were they fighting for the sake of power and wealth? It is very simple to say that kings were fighting with each other for power and wealth. So whenever two kings were fighting, irrespective of their religion, the victor king used to destroy the holy place of the defeated king, and this was regarded as a symbol of victory for the king who has won the battle. These people also constructed and donated wealth to build the holy places, and the reason for this was that no king could rule without winning over the loyalty of the people, without respecting the faith of the people, and that is the reason as to why the Muslim kings gave a lot of donations for Hindu temples. That's why many Hindu kings got the mosques built in the areas where Muslim traders were coming. Now, few points from Mahmud Ghaznavi's travel we should see. When Mahmud Ghaznavi was coming from Ghazna to Somnath, on his way there was a place called Multan. Multan happened to fall in the shortcut while coming to Somnath. So Mahmud Ghaznavi sent a message to the ruler of Multan, Abdul Faddaud, and requested him to give him permission to pass through Multan. Now, it is very simple to guess that if temple destruction was the goal of the kings, Abdul Faddaud would have welcomed Mahmud Ghaznavi. He would have probably joined him in this joint venture. But on the contrary, Abdul Faddaud told Mahmud Ghaznavi that he is not welcome, he is not permitted to come to Multan. Now, Mahmud Ghaznavi knew that is a shortcut, so he came via Multan despite not getting permission, and when he came to Multan, both these Muslim kings had a battle, and in this battle the Jama Masjid of Multan was destroyed. So please remember, friends, what did Mahmud Ghaznavi destroy before destroying a temple? He destroyed a mosque before destroying a temple. Now, Mahmud Ghaznavi was succeeded by a person called Masood. Masood sent his army to a city in West Asia to destroy a mosque, so to get the property which was located within the mosque. Same way, I must tell you that in Mahmud Ghaznavi's army, there were many soldiers and many generals who were Hindus. The Hindu generals of Mahmud Ghaznavi's army were Tilak, Sondhi, Rai, Harjan and Hind. These were the 5 generals in the army of Mahmud Ghaznavi. Now, this particular incident gives us the reasons as to why the temples were destroyed. Later on, when British came here and they wanted to pursue the policy of divide and rule, they wanted to create strife, violence between Hindus and Muslims. To pursue their policy of divide and rule, they resorted to the popularization of communal history. Now in communal history, all the events of king's life are seen through the angle of religion, while king considers many factors while undertaking a particular act. But in this communal historiography, which British introduced and part of which is continuing even today, the sole motive of king's action is attributed to religion, which is not true. Dr. Pattabhi Sitaramayya describes that once Aurangzeb was going from Delhi to Calcutta. On his way, when Aurangzeb was going from Delhi to Calcutta, in his entourage there were 44 Hindu kings. Are you not surprised that such a king called Aurangzeb, who is regarded as a fanatic, antique Hindu king, he is accompanied by 44 Hindu kings? Anyway, it comes to Kashi, Banaras, Varanasi, where the queens want to visit the Vishwanath temple. When queens went, 44 queens went. When they returned, one of the queens, the queen of Kutch, was missing. Aurangzeb sent his officer to find out as to what happened. That officer went and saw that queen was sitting in the basement of the temple. Half her clothes were missing and she was crying. The officer asked her, Rani Sahiba, what happened? She narrated that the mahant of the temple had raped her. When this thing went to Aurangzeb, Aurangzeb summoned the mahant. He gave him death penalty. But the Hindu kings were still not happy. They said, Sir, this is such a holy temple for us and such a dirty act has taken place there. Now we cannot keep the idol of Lord Vishwanath in this place. So then Aurangzeb, who is regarded as a very fanatic anti-Hindu king, that Aurangzeb said that okay, I will give money from my treasury, you can build another temple. That's how many temples were given donation by the Muslim kings. It is very simple to understand that Muslim kings had to also to give donations to Hindu temples because they cannot just rule on the strength of the sword. Similarly, people are talking about Ayodhya temple, Ram temple. Now my question is this, that how did a political stream come to know that Lord Ram was born precisely at the spot where Maulvi Sahib was giving azan in the Babri Masjid? Question is this, that in Ayodhya even today there are more than 50 temples devoted to Lord Ram, and most of the pujaris of these temples claim that Lord Ram was born precisely at that site. Now how can you then decide which is a real site where the Lord was born? Now this mischief was introduced into Indian history by communal historiography of the British. Ayodhya's Gazette was written by a lady, by a woman called Mrs. A.F. Beveridge. While writing the Gazette of Ayodhya, she described this Babri mosque in detail, and at the end, to create mischief, to create doubt, she put a question mark that probably there was a temple where the mosque is standing. It was deliberately meant to create strife between the communities. The same point was later on taken up by the communal forces to communalize the whole issue around which the Babri demolition took place.